Morning, folks. Today's shaving cream is brought to us from LEA. This one here comes in a metal container as opposed to a tube, and that's what it looks like on the inside. I don't know if you can see. It kind of has a pearl type color to it. Now, I'm not the biggest sandalwood fan by any means. Usually, in other words, sandalwood scents doesn't do much for me, but this one here does. This one here, in the description, it mentions sandalwood and moss. I don't know if moss is the same thing as oak moss. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on when it comes to those sort of things, but for me, this is my favorite one when it comes to sandalwood. This one here hits my nose just right. It does smell really good. At least to me it does. You know how everybody's noses are. They vary. But anyway, it really does smell good. And you can kind of tell I've used just a bit of it. It's getting down towards the bottom there. I already have another one waiting in the wings when this one here decides to empty out on me. Excuse me. But it does come in a metal tin. So that is something to be aware of in case... in other words, if you've got slippery fingers and it bounces on the floor or something of the sort, yeah, it will dent. Been pretty lucky so far. The container, I haven't dropped it just yet, but it's still got some in it, so there's time for that. And I also got the, go ahead and follow up with the LEA Classic aftershave. I've got it whipped up here in not a smooth bottom bowl, but I did get this bowl at a thrift store quite some time ago. I believe it's referred to as a Sarabachi bowl, if that's how you pronounce it. It's got grooves in it where you like ground up nuts and things of that nature. But anyhow, it was, you know, another $1 buy at a thrift store, so I picked it up. It's got grooves in the bottom. These grooves are, how can you say, are very gentle. It's unfinished pottery is what it is. In other words, it doesn't have any glaze on it, but it's not too terribly rough on the bristles if you're concerned about that sort of thing, if you're looking into one of these kind of bowls. This brush is a 3D, the handle is a 3D printed brush from the Shaven Sailor. Got a link down below for a lot of this stuff if you want to check it out. And it runs about $11.99 for the handle. And there's two different kind of handles. There's this one here that's referred to as smooth, and then the other one is twisted here in the center. I like this one here. That's my favorite one. The knot is cashmere 24 millimeter, and that's the knot I prefer. He does have knots if you want one of his. They're available. It's just I prefer to put my own knots in them, and it's really easy to do. He does a great job with these handles. But at any rate, yeah, for $11.99, I think these are pretty cool. It does have, you know, the light hits it just right, has a nice shine to it. In other words, just a different look than what your typical brush handle looks like. Blade of the day. The razor I'm using today is a RazoRock ECO. There we go, ECO. I always get these things twisted up. Anyway, these are the blades that came right along with it, and they seem to do okay for me. They're pre-cut blades, and that is what it looks like there on the blade reveal. This handle comes with, I think, all of the razors that are ECO, except for the gold one. The gold one has a different handle. It has a handle that you might remember or associate with the gold Lupo. It has that kind of handle, but all the rest of them have this style haloed handle here, and comes in this electric blue, and I think Hulk green, and is it silver and black? I can't remember for sure, but anyhow, it comes in several different colors. If you like adding color to your shaves, if you will. I've already put a hot towel to the face this morning. We'll go ahead and wet the face, and yeah, it's going to make it Christmas week. This is going to make it till Christmas. I've been tinkering. Every once in a while, this comes to mind. Especially, I'm not the biggest, how do you say, stick soap fan. Face lathering is not a big thing for me. I still struggle with it. Imagine if I practice a bit more, I'd get better at it. But to me, it just seems to be a wee bit messy for me. I get stuff slinging everywhere. But anyway, I was kind of thinking, like, since I've got just a little bit left and around Christmas, thinking about taking this one here and grinding it up in, you know, little bits like a cheese grater type grinder, and see if I can mix it in with some stick soap and see how that works out for me. Giving that some thought. See how that soap base mixed in with a little bit of pre-shaved cube from Phoenix Artists and Accoutrements to see how that whips up. Thought I'd give it a try. At least that's what I'm thinking about doing. Even grinding it up, there's not much to be hanging on to. So I might actually just slice it up in little pieces, make it easier to work into the soap base. But I haven't decided exactly which soap stick I'm going to use. Kind of thinking, I think it's Spain. I've got a few sticks of, I can't remember how to pronounce it. It starts with T, it starts with a T. Anyway, one of these days when I get closer to it, I'll show you what I'm talking about. And probably even actually shave with it too, depending if I can get it to whip up nice. I have done this before in the past, and things worked out pretty well. I have to say the soap base that I worked up with 2 different soaps, adding my own, in other words, coconut oil and various other things to it, just changing things up just a bit. It worked out pretty well. Those turned out to be like Cropes, very soft soap, easy to use. Soap base was quite nice, worked well for me. Just, you know, tinkering around with things one day when I guess that creative muscle gets busy. Made a couple of them, and now the tubs are pretty good size. I probably ended up making 2 tubs close to 10 ounces. Yeah, they're pretty good size. Got carried away, in other words. It happens. This scent is beautiful. Man, like I say, for a sandalwood, this is it for me. And you can kind of see I've got some chunks there that I was trying to scrape off the side where it dried out just a bit, and down in the tub itself is still very soft, easy to scoop out. But I was trying to get those dried up edges scraped out of there, see if I couldn't work them into the shave, and looks like I still didn't get quite all of them worked in. But man, this scent, I mean, my nose picks it up without a problem. It is a really nice scent. I say, for me not being a sandalwood fan, this one here does the trick for me. I think it may have something to do with more of a perhaps scent strength. It is, to me, it's definitely medium. It's very much present. So in other words, when I've got the bowl about waist level and I'm whipping it up, my nose picks it up without a problem. So there is that going on. This particular shaver, from what I have read in the past, especially with this blade, some people don't mind the blade, some people do, and some don't like the shaver at all. And it probably has something to do with what you're used to and accustomed to. The more that the blade has support, the stiffer that blade gets. And I wonder if that has anything to do with it. It doesn't seem to bother me too much. It does have a little bit of an edgy feel to it, but it works just fine for me. You may have to tinker with the blades in order to find one that matches up for you. For me, I don't have a problem with it. These blades work well for me. In the shaver, I should say. I do like them in this shaver more so than I do shavettes. That is something to say there, that how blades are. I've kind of talked about them before. How some blades work out great in some shavers and not so much in others. And talking about that, this week is going to be busy. Week of Christmas. I know my schedule already looks pretty busy. So it'll be interesting to see how these videos work out. I've been trying to line them up so I've got most of the information already ready to go. So that's, I guess you might say, less work later on. but I still got some more planning to do. This is a pretty nice shaving cream in my, at least for me it is, my estimation. Got links down below. Sometimes you can catch this on sale. I do do a lot of that sort of thing. Try to, I guess you might say, work out the budget to the point where when these items unexpectedly come on sale, that I pick them up then. Some of the ones that I really do like, I usually have a backup or two or whatever. It depends. Like Parasso, I've got like, you know, 2 or 3 of the green tubs and stuff like that, because when they come on sale, I pick them up and then I'm not paying regular price for them, in other words. Take advantage of the sale when you can. So I try to keep some set back for that sort of thing. I have to say there is feedback with this shaver. No matter whether it's with the green or across the green. I like using it. It's, like I say, using half of a DE blade, there's that economic side of things for it. Since I don't shave under my nose, can't speak to the size of the head under the nose. Kind of thinking it just depends on how much experience you have and how close to the nose do you really have to get. When it comes to buffing, I don't see very many people on video that buff. This one here would be an easy one to do. The way this head is shaped, I find that it's pretty easy just to buff with it in certain places if you feel the need to do such a thing. Shaving cream is really smoothie. I mean, it's really slick, creamy. If you've had any experience with Taylor Bond Street, I would, to me, and I know some people will say, what? It's very comparable to that. If that helps anybody, if you've never used this kind of shaving cream before, this shaving cream, in my opinion, is very comparable to Taylor Bond Street, which is saying a lot, because that's a pretty nice shaving cream. Whether you use it in the tube or the tub. That's some pretty good shaving cream. It's the green. It is probably going to sing just a bit. At least I know I can hear. I don't know if the camera microphone will pick it up, but it sure does. It is pretty nice to see more shavers coming out with using half of a DE blade. So that way, if you're a single edge fan, you got something more to use besides an injector. Or if you're not wanting to buy a different kind of blade, in other words, feather artist code style blades. Gives you an alternative, in other words. And the shaver itself is not real expensive. If I remember right, I think it's like right at 30 bucks. Everyday price, I should say. And then pick it up on sale from time to time. I do like this color blue. I wish they would make a red one. Green and blue, you know, those colors do pop in the gold. But it sure would be nice to see a red one. Red being one of my favorite colors. But this blue does look good. Goes well with this brush handle. Nice, bright. Kind of brightens up the morning. Don't think I'm going to have a whole lot of stinging. I did notice through the shave whether I had any spots that might be kind of suspect. I don't think I'm going to have a whole lot. Matter of fact, there's not a whole lot left on the face either. I would have to say when it comes to efficiency, and I could probably change up my strokes, you know, on the second pass, but for me, it's a 3-pass shave unless I change up how I do the across the grain. But still pretty smooth shave. Not complaining by any means. I enjoy using it. Crown King alum block complete with rubber band. I still got at least one more, not with this label, a newer label. Got at least one more of these alum blocks waiting in the wind. It's going to be a while before I use it. And by the time I get to use the one that I've got now, besides this one here, he'll probably change the label again. No stinging. None. I didn't think there would be any. It was going pretty smooth. Even with all that feedback, no. That was no indication on how you say poorly the shave was going by any means. Still got some shaving cream back there around my ears. Witch hazel. Still sporting the Humphreys. As you can see, I've got a little bit missing out of it. It's going to be a good long moment before I end up changing this one here, unless I just decide to change it up for a shave. For instance, I have Sterling's Witch Hazel Black Eyes. And there might be a shave or two I might bring it in, especially if I'm using Black Eyes soap, an aftershave, or Obsidian, which is, that is such a great soap. I've got more one tub of that too. Some of my favorites, I make sure I pick up another one because if they ever stop making them, it's going to be a sad day for me. Just a, man, I can still smell the sandalwood. It's probably coming out of the bowl. All right. This one here, as you can tell, comes in a clear bottle. It is glass. And it has a plastic restrictor in it. At least this one does. You can kind of see in there that restrictor is pretty small. So you're going to have to work at getting some of the aftershave out. Just a really nice scent. Can't say that enough about this one here because, like I say, I'm not a sandalwood fan. I'm really not. Oh, and as it goes for the cap, that's what it looks like there on the inside. So there's not a post coming down going into the restrictor there. But I haven't had any trouble with this one leaking or anything quite like that. In the next video, it will be the bottle that I mentioned a few videos ago about the... It was individually wrapped, which is a good thing, so the aftershave did leak a little bit. That'll be on the next shave. And it'll be another blue razor also. Had a great shave. It's a Monday. Starting out the week just great. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay healthy, stay safe, and smooth shaves to you.